All right. Happy Saturday. I'll kick this maybe a minute early, a little quick to the jump, but I'll live stream for a bit until say my wife yells at me, which is probably going to happen pretty soon. I didn't tell her I was live streaming. So let me put that on mute. And as she puts my daughter to bed, timing is perfect. But happy Saturday, everybody. Welcome. I'll give a minute for you guys to sort of populate in here, and I'll try to get to what I get to. What am I? Good job, budget tools. Like the I just pooped thing is definitely like appreciated when you have kids because like we have poop charts and everything like that. Just welcome to becoming a parent. Um, what's good from Romania? Romania is probably pretty late over there in Romania, or very early. Volkswagen Siphone. What's up, Rob? Thanks for the t-shirt. Took forever. It did. Some of them took a long time, and it's weird. Some of the t-shirts, anything that went to the UK, got like taxed by the Queen. And when I say taxed, it's not like, oh yeah, you owe like $1 on a $20 t-shirt, because it was a stated value. Because I went through a thing. On a $20 t-shirt, it cost me like $15 to ship it to the UK, which isn't even that far. But so just assume, like, forget about the economics of it. But then they charge like another 12 pounds, 12 British whatever's, which is like another $15 for a $20 t-shirt. So like the people that bought t-shirts from the UK, I'm sorry I didn't see that coming, but that was the only place in the world that ended up hitting people and turning a $20 t-shirt into a like $45 t-shirt. So sucks, but I hope you guys enjoyed them. And if you ordered the t-shirt and didn't get it yet, there's still like a couple of people that keep emailing me, and they checked their tracking number and it went to like Australia instead of Canada, and it's been there for a couple of weeks now. They don't know where it is, and it's like I expected some of that, but yeah. So, but enjoy your shirt. I have a little bit of a cold, so you may see me getting some tissues and trying the old Irish remedy, flavored water. So it's actually not even Irish. It's called a Mexican remedy. Let's see what we got here. Oh, so if you were wondering what I was drinking tonight, it's iced tea, but it comes in this flower vase, or I keep it in this flower vase, which is actually a really nice, it used to be a liquor bottle, Clase Azul, and it's pretty trendy tequila right now, at least what used to be in here. And these are all hand painted glasses or vases, and then you can just put some flowers in it. It's real nice. So when I don't keep flowers in it, I just put some iced tea in it. But there you go. That's what the bottle is of the night. So for any of you keeping tabs, I'm sure there's somebody keeping score. Dina's Garage. Hey, Rob, how are you? How's the house build going? Love my t-shirt, by the way. If you guys got t-shirts and you didn't send me photos, you can email me, rob@superspeeders.com. The cooler the shots of the shirts, the more likely you are to end up on the website, because on the merch website, I'm going to put up a bunch of photos of people. It's tough when you just send it through Instagram, and then I have to like take a screenshot, and then it's the wrong dimension. But like, if you're from Australia, go do something like, oh, it's in the Opera House, or like just cars. Do something. Make it fun. So we get a good collection of stuff as we keep dropping some merch, which is really a pain in the ass. But figure I'll do it 3 times a year. I'll go for once every couple of months, just so it doesn't get too crazy. But a house update. The house, and my daughter may just start walking in the background, so I apologize for that, but it's dadding. The house update is I've been approved for my house. I'll do a video on this and go through it because it was quite the saga. It was a $15,000 process that cost me about $100,000. So it was as ridiculous as, and I sort of take responsibility that it costs so much because yes and no, but like at the end of the day, I was the one to sort of make requests and try to like adapt and read what the board wanted or didn't want. And at the end of the day, me clashing with the board and saying, here's what I would like, here's what I don't want, is what ended up dragging it out. There's more to that, but that's where the videos come in. Started watching since the $500 cars. Want to meet up soon. Best cop moments coming soon. Come to Pennsylvania. Thank you, Nick. I was just in Pennsylvania fairly recently. I was in Philadelphia. I'll be down there again. The guy who's doing the 100,000 mile service on my NSX is down in just outside of Philadelphia as well. Let's see what we got here. We got, you said you want Iceland Air to go the way of WoW Air. WoW Air is back in business. That happened. Anyway, hi, mate. How's it going this evening? It's going well. Cobalt Skies, thank you very much. Cobalt Skies, and you paid in pounds. I wonder if that means you're somewhere in the European Union, but that'd be cool if you get to see the Northern Lights more than once, especially when they're raging and not like just visible through a camera. Thinking about doing one of your rallies. Thoughts? My rallies are fun. I don't know what the hesitation would be. Let's see. How much horsepower do you get from the new Supra? Oh, I don't know. I was just watching that engine tear down in the new Supra, and I don't know if that's going to be like. I can't imagine the engine is going to be that good. If it was that good, people would take the two JZs and swap that in. I don't see that happening anytime soon. Any advice on putting a small local poker cannonball scavenger run, something that would take around 4 hours through curvy roads? There's nothing that takes 4 hours. When you get a lot of cars together, everything is like an all-day affair. Any advice? What do you need advice on? That's a Hoyt Richardson. That's if you get the people there, then it's all logistics. If you're good at logistics, it's a fairly easy process. And if you're good at planning, if you're not, get somebody that is, because that's important. And VW. Let's see here. D-Rock missed the T-shirt drop. Who knew? Let's see. I got a message here. Hold on one second. Let's see. I can go into a car show in the morning. And this is for one of the Adventure Drives guys is a doctor, and he's hosting a charity car show in Long Island. I put that on my Instagram, which is probably my lowest liked Instagram post ever. It was like 200 or 300, which is abysmal. But everybody says, you don't tell me when you're going anywhere. And clearly I don't take Instagram as seriously as most. I'm like, I'm going to take a photo. I'm going to put that on Instagram. I don't go bust out the DSLR and set up a photo shoot and try to frame it and crop it and slam it on Instagram because, frankly, don't really care. Let's see what else we got here. Austin Latimer says, thoughts on the 0304 Terminator Mustang Cobra. I know they were pretty rock solid back in the day. I don't know how available they are, but probably one of the best platforms to build a Mustang off of. I knew they held a ton of horsepower and they were pretty reliable. And they're relatively cheap given every other car. Now, I mean, the GT500, they want almost $100,000 for the damn things. Let me just see. Please put in the chat what type of tequila it was. That was the one I must have missed. Sorry about that. It was a blue one. The green ones like float up on the top. So anything over like $5 I see. But anything under $5, it sort of just goes in the chat and I sort of have to catch it. Let me see if I missed anyone else here. Cool. Let me throw it's called Clase Azul. It's sort of tough to come by. Let me make sure I'm spelling that right. CLAS, yeah, but two S's. But Clase Azul is good stuff. I just threw it in there if you can catch that. But it's like just costs $70 a bottle, which is like, it's a nice bottle, very, very good quality stuff. and for $70, it's like well within most people's wheelhouses, as far as like a quality drink. Not everybody has to drink Pappy or something like that at $400 or $500 a bottle. Okay, we have another one. Thoughts on an LS swap Jeep Patriot? That's completely up to you. The swapping, there's, let me just slide this, excuse me. Whoa. The swapping is something that I generally steer away from because you yeah. We may be getting in trouble. The swapping is something I'll generally steer clear of, or I tell people not to waste the money on, because it's just a waste of money. You generally don't get that back. You can't swap an engine into a car and expect that to A, be cheap, or B, provide a return on that investment in any way, shape, or form. So you're signing up to own that car forever. If you want a powerful Jeep, by all means, the LS platform is a great way to go. They LS'd everything in like the last 20 years. So it's obviously a good foundation if you do want that ultimate goal and you're cool with just blowing money. Let's see. Thank you, VWSA iPhone. I'm trying to figure it out, but thank you for that. All right, I saw something about the Miro. Blah, 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 blah. What model is the Ford GT in the cop chase? That was a 2006 red, white Ford GT. House update. You're a little late to that, but the house update, I'll make a video on the house update pretty soon. But I remind you of Tony B from The Sopranos. Don't forget about it. VW Sipho. Got it. Thank you, AR Platinum. Keep up the great vids. I'm glad you guys are enjoying them. I'm trying, as it gets a little quieter now. I had just a like bang out summer, doing rentals and stuff. As it gets quieter, I'll start trying to focus a little bit more on the videos. At least the $500 car challenges, the stuff that's a higher production quality. But there's so much stuff that's happened. There's stuff that I've shot that I haven't even gotten up yet. But instead of sitting down and editing, I decided to hang out with you guys for a minute and pour myself a nice tea. How much does it go for? So the GT from 2006, remember this was like 2007, or even 2006 maybe when that happened. But we paid $152 brand new from the dealership on a 157 sticker or something like that. The numbers are close. Maybe it was 167. We paid 160, somewhere in that neighborhood. But I remember it was like 5,000 under MSRP because they were sitting on dealership lots for so long. Now I got my wife texting me to be quiet. So I just have to tell her I'm making money. See, so you could thank whoever's throwing the super chat in there. That'll allow my wife to at least be like, fine, keep doing what you're doing. I saw the word college in there, or like, did I go to college? I did go to Gettysburg College for a minute, a year and a half, and then I went to Ramapo College for like 26 years after that. And then I dropped out when I was like the equivalent of like a second semester junior, or maybe a first semester senior. But I got everything I needed. Tell the woman you're a $2 worker. Look, if it pays for the drinks, I'm happy. Let's see here. I just see random like insurance questions, down payments. So the house update. So the I'll get to Hyper Blue STI in a second, but the house update is I'm going to start building. First, I got to take the original house down. The process, the timeline, the process, everything got so screwy trying to get that thing done. that it just my cash budgeting was not there for. I did not budget effectively a process that should have been 15 grand. I didn't budget a hundo. So, and I didn't plan on starting another rental company while this was all happening. So I put a lot of cash back into, like, obviously I've got almost $2 million in rental cars now. So I've got like significant capital in that. And now I have to like start reshuffling to, I don't want to take a construction loan on the house. I'd like to try to pay for the build in cash. The first numbers that I've been getting anywhere from like 650 to $1 million to build it. But now that the garage and some of the hardscape stuff, the driveway and whatever, that stuff's off the table at the moment. I'm just building the house. The cost is probably closer to like the 650. I mean, 650, 550, 700. I don't know what the hell it's going to come in at. But now I have to start like shuffling my financial situation to make that happen. John said, "What do you think of the two JZE swapped IS 300? The swapped ISs are they're good if they're built well. I mean, it's like a cheap Supra because they don't have that markup that the Supra does. It's a 4-door car. I like the IS swaps or the 2J swaps in the IS as far as just a bang around car. It's just got to be something that it sort of makes you happy. It's not something you get because people are like, "Whoa, that's so badass." I mean, it is for the people that know, but like the Supra's got that nostalgia. It's got that, like, people see a Supra coming up, they're like, "Oh, cool, Supra," and you don't really get that with the ISs. All right. Hyper Blue STI. Have you watched the Hyperdrive series on Netflix? If so, did you like it? Here's to keeping the wife happy. Cheers to that. See, at least I could pretend like I'm making money here. The series I did watch, I want to be fair and not like say I watched it, but we sort of like skipped and skimmed through some of the episodes, like 2 or 3 of the episodes. So I got a feel for it. And it's sort of very similar to like what Bull Run did after they got like the Goldberg TV show. It's just that like, oh, we're gonna do an obstacle course, now people smash up their cars. And it's definitely like they designed it for drifters, with the like having to hit obstacles with your car and everything like that. And not everybody builds a drift car. So maybe it would have been cooler if they had professional drifters step in instead of a bunch of amateurs. But I guess they sort of wanted that, and the people that want their 15 minutes of fame, like, oh, watch me screw up my car. That's what the show ended up being. I don't enjoy that. Like, I don't, the competition of like nonsense. Oh, drive through a foot of water. Stupid. Why am I going to drive through a foot of water? Like, if I'm spending all this money to build the car, last thing I want to do is run into a situation where I hydrolock my motor or like smash my car, do anything significant damage for Instagram, not even whatever, Netflix fame. So I wasn't a fan of it. I just don't like that format. That's cool to do. Like, that sort of obstacle course would be great in like $500 cars, and I'd probably watch that and get a good chuckle out of it. But to do it with like well proper built cars, wasn't a fan. Let me see. I got a couple of super chats I got to hit right here. Best used daily driver for 25 to 30,000 with a warranty. I always, when people ask me the best for the money, I usually say the newest car you can get. And what I mean by that is, like, would you want a Mercedes or a Hyundai? If you can get, not a Hyundai, you know what I mean, but like in a similar caliber, like mid-range, like think about the rental car classes, like luxury car, mid-size, compact car. Find the newest version. Pick a couple of models that you like. Once all the cars started coming with like solid Bluetooths and all of this technology, the touch screens, you don't really have much. A compact car is going to have shitty acceleration, have all that stuff. The luxury cars, you're looking now for like heated steering wheels, heated seats, maybe air-conditioned seats, massage seats. Find the class of car that you like and get and a lot of people are like, should I get the higher mile car or a lower mile car? Get the lower mile, like standard use mile, so like 3-year-old car, maybe 30,000 miles, not a big deal, but get that standard use car, and then get the newest variant you can afford. So if you can get a 2018, because you're saying still under warranty, you're now you're opening yourself up to cars that are less than 3 years old. And at that point in time, 25 to 30 grand, you may be able to steal some decent BMWs, Audis, even Mercedes-Benz. I would lean towards those. But it depends on your appetite for for depreciation, essentially, and maintenance. If something happens, you can probably steal a Maserati for 30 grand now, the Ghiblis, but which is a decent enough car. But if they break out of warranty, it's gonna suck. Let's see what else we have here. But usually the newer cars, like I'm not kidding. Like, yeah, there are still lemon laws. There are some cars that have flaws, but they're outliers now. I think after like 2010, cars became like really reliable, and a lot of people are now not leaning towards new cars. They're going towards the older cars they're depreciated, because they're so reliable, because you're not having these out of warranty giant repair bills. Why are Corvettes kind of cheap for a sports car? That was always the goal with the Corvette. The U.S. sports cars have always been traditionally cheap, and they try to give you a solid bang for your buck. And that's just one of the ways to go about it. And then that gave the opening to European guys to be like, well, the interior is crap, or it's just a Corvette. Everybody has one. But a lot of people are okay with that. I was okay with that when I bought a Corvette. I thought it was cool as shit. Let's see what else we got here. Sell warehouse 1031, exchange build house warehouse. I don't get that, but a house warehouse. I don't want to live where I work. That stinks. Sorry, let me. I skipped over some. Amro smells. I don't know what Amro is. AMRO. Good. I'm catching them all. All right. Turbo Speed Qualifier. Hey, Rob, just want to let you know that you and your DVDs are a huge inspiration for my interest in cars. Thank you very much. I'd love to hear that. I'm currently working on growing my channel so I can get in on the fun as well. Well, that's always good too. The YouTube, and I get it. It looks fun, and it looks like a great way to make a living. That's not essentially how I make a living. So as long as the best way to be good at YouTube is not have to do YouTube. Have a day job, do YouTube on the side, do it as a hobby, enjoy it. Don't try to make videos as to what people want to see. Make what you enjoy doing, and whatever happens, happens. But good luck with the channel. Let's see what we got. I didn't get that damaged BMW wheel. There's another video coming up on 6th now, because I thought I was done with 6, but no, I rented multiple cars under my name, and the other car had insurance, and they just banged me for damage on that one. So, where do we go? All right, there's another 99 cents. Thank you for whatever. I appreciate that. Brandon, what's going on? At the bar tonight, otherwise I'd tune in. Gotta invite you at the Classic Car Club for dinner. I like Classic Car Club. I'll definitely come by for dinner. Especially if you're buying drinks. Let's see. My Super, yeah, I gotta get that Super going, but I just catch it. Let's see. Got that one. Henry says, why cash home when interest rates are going negative? Oh, I just don't want, like, there is this thing that people like borrowing money on homes. I don't. I don't like the structure of mortgages. I don't like having that much, even at like 3 or 4% on so much money. I don't like how front loaded the interest feels. Like even if you get a mortgage on just say $1 million house, paying $6,000 a month, you're there for 5 years. Say you put $200,000 down, so you borrowed 800 grand. You pay your $5,500 a month plus property taxes, and then at the end of like 5 years, on the 800 grand that you borrowed, you owe 780. And you're like, whoa, what happened? Well, it's a lot of interest up front, and you got to work your way down. And I just don't want to spend thousands of dollars in interest every month. I'd rather just pay cash on it. I do have a mortgage on the house, but it's like nothing crazy. I think the house cost me almost 700 grand, 670, something like that. And my mortgage now is down to 490. So I'm in a good place there. And my mortgage payment is like with property taxes, like 3,200 a month. So if I can then build my house and have a really nice house and then only pay $3,000 a month, I'm living the dream. I can just make my money beyond that, and then I could work on other investments without just blowing thousands of dollars a month into interest. Thank you, Avery, for the 2 bones. Is Jimbo dead, or is he still just by? LOL. Hope he's good. I think Jimbo's still alive. He's doing that other channel, Savage Garage. So you can always go check that out if you're genuinely interested in what Jimbo is doing and if he's alive. All right, gas tax. Talk about adventure drives. Thinking about doing one from Chicago. How's the business going? Looking to meet people. Well, we've got good people on adventure drives, gas tax, and we've got one coming up, which is a cheapo. It's the fall drive. I've just got to edit the end cap on my videos for that. But we're going from Charleston down to Miami. Now, you're going to think like me, like, oh, Charleston's all 95. Yeah, it really is a lot of highway, but there's a lot of cool stuff going from Charleston, which is a great place, down to Miami. So it's a lot more immersing yourself into the culture and the areas down there and just driving from point to point, because you can't fly from Charleston to Savannah whatever, to St. Augustine to Daytona. I mean, you can get a little Piper or something, but there's something cool about just driving through. And then we're going to NASA, over to Disney, and then down to Miami. So that'll be fun. It's a quick taste and it's cheap. That one's like $49.50 for 2 people. And it's Wednesday to Sunday, October 23rd to 27th. So if you want something cheap, I think I have a link in the description of this video by default with a link to Adventure Drives. You can go check that out. And that's just a fun trip. All the hotels are nice, Waldorf Astorias, and the meals are good. It's just a good atmosphere, good people. The good driving trip is coming up the following in July of next year. And that's going to be up in Canada. It's going to start in Seattle, end in Jackson Hole. It's going to go up through Vancouver, Whistler, over to Banff for 2 nights. And then from Banff, we're going down to Glacier National Park for 2 nights, and then down to Jackson Hole. So that is phenomenal driving. Some of my favorite places, actually, like legitimately my favorite national park in the United States is Glacier National Park. So definitely worth signing up for that one. But if you just want to get your feet wet and try it out, it's sort of a no-brainer there to just come on down and have a good time. It's the value is there. It's really like, we're not making a lot of money on these small trips. Pretty much everything is turnkey, taken care of, and you get to feel out the communities. You're in the chat groups and you're talking to people and you're just having a good time. Let's see. Let me see if I missed any super chats, then I can ramble about anything. But I hope that answers your question. I hope to see you out there. If you do sign up, let me know that you signed up after I told you to sign up through here, because that makes me feel good that I said the right things that enticed you to join along. I'm still not sure what car I'm taking on that. I was even, because it's such a short drive, I think it's like 700 miles, 600 miles in like 4 days, which is nothing. Like, you could drive from New York to Miami in sort of a day. So to go from Charleston to to Miami, which is like halfway down, in 4 days, it makes life very, very relaxing. And I was even debating bringing my Corvette, so that would be cool. Just throw the cool suit in there and drive the Corvette down. but it's mainly highway, which is not really what I have a lot of fun with. And I got to get a gas gauge in that car because I have no idea how. Like every time I take it out, I fill it up, but I have no idea what my fuel economy is or anything. So I'd be running out of gas. Let's see. Thoughts on electric Lamborghini versus the 918? I'm really not into any of those, to be honest with you. I know they're doing the electric supplement on the Lamborghini because everybody does it. I think a lot of these big name supercar companies are just like, look, we can make as many as any. Like, you want to make 50 of anything, you can make 50 of anything as long as it sounds good on paper and it performs somewhere at some time. And we put, say, $4 million as a price tag, people will pay it. And that's sort of what you've got now, is that, and even like other manufacturers are trying that model, like the Acura tried with the NSX. Hey, we'll just put out a $250,000 car. Sorry. We'll put out a $250,000 car, and we have enough customers, enough people will buy it. They didn't. But a lot of these companies are producing like $600,000 cars, and then next thing you know, it's dropping like a $3.5 million car, and people are sopping them up. Thoughts on the old Integra Type R? I'm not an Integra Type R guy, honestly. I don't like the front wheel drive platforms. So if you're into that, the Integra Type Rs are like probably the most desirable front wheel drive as far as like collectability and like people searching for them. So I can't say you'll be in bad shape scooping one up. You'll get your money back when you turn around to sell it. Adam, yeah, we're always sort of hiring. It's sort of, we're winding down on the season up here, so it turned into real part-time going into the winter. But once spring comes back, we'll be hiring more truck drivers and stuff. Let's see. Thoughts on the new electric? Cool. I'm thinking I'm getting. All right, we've got another €2. Any update on the BMW wheel? Yes, Wing. I'm going to do a video in the next couple of days. Sixt is really like taking the German fist and just right up my ass, because I had a second car that was rented, and now they're hitting me for almost €4,000 on that one, even though I had the insurance. They're like, oh, well, there's a €4,100 deductible. Guess how much damage you did? €4,000. I'm like, come on, guys. Same thing. And now I want to compare the two, because they've already sent me the stuff so I can say it. But the one car had 2 scratched wheels, and my car had 1 scratched wheel. So I want to see if they're fixing one versus not fixing the other. I just want to be able to hold them to task, but everything's in German, so I got to translate it all, or at least see what matches up. Twin Turbo GT OMR. Twin Turbo GTO, Mister, is asking, is the 3000 GT Spider VR4 good investment? Only 1,000 made. I like it's just a car that I'm down with, but that's sort of showing my age. But I like the 3000 GT VR4s. You still see them on the road, and you still look at them and be like, that's a pretty cool looking car. It's got that those lines. Somebody sent me $2, but then they retracted their message. So thanks for the freebie. How are you feeling about the C8? I ordered 3 of them, all as rental cars. But I just spec'd the first one today. I get that in January. It's going to be a 2LZ, 2LT, whatever it is, whatever the trim package is. White with red and black interior, GT2 seats. So I'm excited for that. I didn't go crazy on the spec. I think it came in at like 73 grand, but like a far stretch from the 50 whatever that they said, 60 grand that they said it was going to cost. North Jersey needs more car meets. We're going to do a car meet at my shop in Teaneck tomorrow. We're going to a car show in Long Island. That's going to be at, what is it? That's at 9 a.m. We're doing like a quick cars and coffee for an hour. We're leaving at 10 to go to the car show in Long Island. So if you got a car and you want to come, I will not stop you. Ouch, Alex. Just because you threw $2, I'm going to read it. But Alex is saying this. Rob is getting treated like a Jew by Sixt. He's saying that because it's in Germany, and you know they had a period of time where they were very, Holocaustish. Last question about adventure drives. Bring your own cars or rent one, drive or ship. Thoughts? I have an R8 RWS, and most of my buddies work too much to join driving alone or finding someone. So there's two things. We have a half spot, and you could always sign up for a half spot because there's people that don't have cars that would love to come with you in the R8, and then it costs you $2,500 to come on the trip. At least the Charleston trip. It costs you $2,500. Somebody else throws $2,500. You're sharing a room with somebody, but you get to drive your car. They get to go for a ride. It's sort of a win-win. I prefer driving my own car. You could rent one. I'm making some of the rentals available from Gotham. It's going to be $4,500 to rent like an AMG, a Porsche, a Corvette. So I think you're better off shipping your own, especially like I would make something out of it. You could drive from Chicago down to Charleston, then ship it back from Miami, maybe even leave it in Miami and go back and do a weekend or something in Miami. Just find a place to store it for a couple of weeks. Chicago in the winter, you don't really have to drive the R8. Again, I don't know what car I'm shipping down there, but I'll probably leave it in Miami for a couple of weeks or maybe even the winter. So when I go down, I have something fun to drive. And then we could always link you up with somebody else that has a car too, so you can be on the other side of that that equation. Let's see here. What's a good price range for intro supercars? Depends. I mean, you really get what you pay for in an intro supercar. I think if you have the budget, like the NSX, the new one, used at $120 solid. If you just want to get into a car that like I think is cool, like a Porsche Turbo, like even a 996, you could scoop one up for like 40 grand. Is a solid play. GT3 above that would be the next like bump. You could scoop one of those up for like 75. Then in the 120 range, you got the R8s, you get the AMG GTs in the 75 range too, but I'm not really a fan of the automatics. You get the NSX, you get the R8s, even the new GT3s and 991s. And then you could sort of scoop up some Ferraris in that range, Ferraris, Lambos. Be careful with the supercars that you get cheap, like the cheapest 04 Gallardo with 70,000 miles on it. Let those YouTuber guys buy those because they end up having a bunch of headaches. And the YouTube, it works, but for a personal car, I wouldn't go out of my way to do that. But even the Vipers out there, ZR1, Z06s, it depends really on what you like in a car. There's just so many different cars, and when you get them used, there's some pretty solid values out there. Alex says, I love you, buddy. I didn't think you'd read it. Alex, happy to read anything, really. Words shouldn't hurt people. They do, but they shouldn't. It's like that the new special by Dave Chappelle. A lot of people are offended, and he's like, whatever, I'm a comedian. Like, how are you getting offended by a comedian? I don't know, because that guy's job is to make people laugh, is to make light out of everything, and you get annoyed by it. He's supposed to push on that. It didn't work out for Michael Richards, but he took it a step too far. But either way. Moisey Baz, this guy didn't do the super chat, but I just saw the "Are you Jewish?" And the answer is, I'm like a super Jew. I'm like the least religious person you'll ever meet, but I'm a Kohen, whatever it is. So I'm like the high priest of Jews, because my mom was Jewish, but I think all religion is hogwash. So take it for what it is. Like, Jews are like, oh, that doesn't matter what you think, you're Jewish. And to me, I'm like, you can't just give me a religion. Like, religion is something you sort of have to believe in. But it is what it is. Yeah, I got rid of the Mustang order. Sorry, I'm catching some random comments as I go through here. Project Car Challenge, and what happened to that bus? So Wayne Vieira is asking about the Project Car Challenge. That'll be in the winter. somewhere between like October and January. I'd like Rob Dom to have a car that works, that's competitive. So if he's shooting for SEMA, I don't want to hold it before then. It's probably going to be pushed into SEMA anyway. Or even if he does limp it in on its own power, I don't think it's ready to be raced at that point in time. So I'll give him a little bit to shake it down. And maybe January, February, we'll give him a goal to keep pushing that car through. But my car is ready to go. Would you hire a GIS analyst for your businesses? Oh, wow. You just got me. GIS. I got to look that up. Geographic Information System, the framework for gathering, managing, analyzing data rooted in the science of geography. It integrates many types of data and analyzes spatial location, organizes the layer of data, visualized. Geographic Information System map. I don't know what I don't get the lingo. People love to drop that. People love to be like, "Yo, what are the KPIs on your TPS reports?" I just say the words so that everybody knows what's up. But no, I don't think I need a GIS analyst for my businesses at the moment. But thank you. Tommy Dubs asking where the Rob Spaghetti thing came from. There was a guy, and I know I'm going to sound like an ass saying this because I don't know his name, and he came and went out of my life inside of a video. He's got a channel called like Imports versus Domestics, or his like shtick was like stupid stuff that Volkswagen owners say, or stupid stuff that Mustang owners say. And when I did the Ford GT video about putting the application in, maybe getting denied, I don't remember where it was in the process. Maybe putting the application in because I was like, should have been a shoo-in to buy one. He, in his tongue-in-cheek, said like this, whoever this like Rob Spaghetti guy is, whatever his name is, and that's where the spaghetti thing came from. It doesn't really bother me, but the level of stupidity to it, where like spaghetti rhymes with Ferretti, not like Gaio. Like if it was a clever name, I'd be like, yay, because I do love Italian food. It's my favorite type of food, but it just didn't make very much sense, and I tried to ignore it at first and thinking it would go away, but it just stuck because the internet is full of intellectuals, and that just carried on. And again, it doesn't bother me, so I just we own it. Let's see where we're going here. Sorry. Let's see where we're going. All right, we got some more chat things here. I just want to make sure we get them all. If you guys are throwing some money this way. Mark V, $70K to buy a new car, new or used, besides C8, what'd you buy? 70 grand. If it's an everyday car, probably a 997 turbo. You should be in that range. That'd be a pretty solid play, or even a 997 GT3, but those are a little bit pricier. You could score yourself a 360 for that, but that would be more of a weekend car. You could score yourself an NSX. It's more of a nostalgia car. Vipers, you got sort of any Viper you want in there. I'm not really a big fan of the Vipers, but there's a good 70 grand is a solid budget. You can scoop up a used R8 V8. AMG GTs are not quite there, but they're close. I don't want to respond to this one. Rico Sully didn't pay, but he said, would you be as successful without YouTube? Yes. And that's actually, it's funny because like people view YouTube as success, and I view making something out of nothing and employing people as success. Like you could make a YouTube channel and catch people falling on the sidewalk and turn it into success. And that's not successful. But the way I look at success and the way I look at scalability is like, well, if I didn't have my YouTube channel, what I'd be doing? Still employing people. I mean, there was probably 5 or 6 years in a row that I was paying out $1.5 million in payroll to my employees every year. So that's something I'm proud of, is that I've created something. People are going home and raising families because I've created something that provides them employment, that gives them benefits, gives them purpose, and I've created value, and I've created multiple businesses that do that and employ people and provide a product that people enjoy. There's probably easier money out there, but this is sort of a fulfilling way to do it. Would I be as successful? Probably. You probably just wouldn't know who I was, because I'd be just doing something that wasn't social media facing. Most common things stolen from your rentals: badges. Now, you can't. Most of the badges you can't get off. The badges are generally stolen by the tow companies after a car is wrecked. That's when I see that. But common things stolen, we don't leave any of the books, manuals, anything like that. So there's not really anything for people to take. Nobody takes floor mats. The fact that we document things in and out, it's nothing to really steal. Freedom of speech. People call me Alphabet Community. Okay, cool. You with that? Dave's new special is amazing. Can't wait for Bill Burr's. I like Bill Burr. I don't know. I don't listen to his stand-up. I don't know if he does stand-up so much anymore. I just like him from when he ripped Philadelphia apart at that Opie and Anthony comedy thing down in Philadelphia 15 years ago. And I was like, I like that guy. The guy doesn't give a shit. And he's my type of guy. Let's see here. Do you see myself in another GT3 anytime soon? Yeah, that's going to be one of the first cars I buy after I finish building my house. But I am doing the house thing, and I'm prioritizing my spending on my house. And then when that's done, then I can start shopping for some more cars. If some opportunity comes up, maybe, who knows? I'm not going to promise that I wouldn't buy something before the house is done. But right now it is not a priority, and there's going to be GT3s there forever. Have you ever put your cars on Toro? Why or why not? I tried to put the NSX on Toro just for shits and giggles, thinking that like I lend it to everybody anyway. But that didn't go over well because they said it's a rebuilt title, so they can't put it on Toro. And I'm like, well, it's a quality car. And there's stuff that I drove that I don't care what the title looks like. That car was not safe for me to drive. So I get their legal standpoint, but a rebuilt title means something was built and passed all safety inspections, everything like that. It's not a salvage title. It was actually, I don't know the nuances, but who knows? Maybe I'll throw the donk up there for shits and giggles once I get that done. But the Toro, I don't put my rental cars on Toro, because it's just a completely different customer. And some companies will do it as like a loss leader. They'll just throw up some car for way too cheap just to get you to look at the other cars that the dude has, and then they direct you to the company website. But I don't do that. And then it doesn't jive with my insurance, the commercial insurance policy using Turo. So Dan Green asked, am I still canceling that Mustang? The answer is yes. Let me see. Is the Pure Rally good for us kind of broke car guys? I don't know what Pure Rally is. The rally game is a dime a dozen. Most of them have the same stuff in common, is that like if you just want to drive with a bunch of cars and that's where your value is, then sure, they can usually pull a crowd, but you're not going to get much in the way of like, where'd my money go? They're not giving you anything other than nonsense. Is the Romero Britto painting original? Which one is that? I've got Britto. I've got original Brittos. I don't think there's nothing hanging here. I do have Romero Britto at my other house, but nothing crazy. I've never spent more than like $5,000 on any piece of artwork. So, how fast to get Air West Side Highway jump? Which car? How fast to get air on the west side of the highway? Jump. Oh, which car? I've always tried, but any car, my Corvette could probably do it. I wouldn't want to. I probably hit that jump at like, and so there's a going down the west side highway. Love being sick. Going down the west side highway, there's a rise in the road that if you go fast enough, everybody, like, you can feel your car come up and compress. I think I've hit it at maybe like 85. I don't recall ever having like the Ferris Bueller's Day Off air, but I've hit that in Rolls Royces, Bentleys, like anything I possibly could have. I'd say you'd probably have to, if it's even possible, you'd probably have to have a very tight suspension on the car, doing at least like $1.25. But then the road is such crap there, I wouldn't recommend doing it. Let's see what we got. All right, next question. 10 bones from Jules Kelvin. Sorry I missed your last European trip. When are you going again? So Europe is going to be 2021, and that'll be a like a Paris, Barcelona thing. Western Europe this time. Well, actually, no, we're going to be in Europe. We're going to be in Scotland for fall of 2020. So that's going to be a fun trip. We're going to drink a lot of stuff that looks like this, but it's not going to be iced tea like this is. Let's see. Let's see, you're paying on the new C8. I got that. 3 C8s coming in the rental fleet. All right, some more money here. You guys are hitting it with the money tonight. I appreciate that. Would it make financial sense to hire an in-house mechanic? Do you send your cars to maintenance while under warranty, or do you pay after warranty? So a lot of my cars are in warranty. Some of them are out. I've tried the like in-house mechanic stuff, and thinking that I'm always priority. I'd always get stuff done. I was paying like 75 or 80 grand a year. I forget what I was paying for the mechanic. It was a solid number. And at first they were like, "Oh, this is great. We're cranking out. He's getting everything done." But then as time goes on, we're very seasonal. So it gets in the winter, they're doing nothing. I'm like, why am I paying this guy like $6,000-$7,000 a month to do nothing in the winter? But then summer comes around, and like 2 things will break at the same time. And he'll like take his time. And this is not just one guy. This is everybody that I've ever hired. They don't want to be rushed. They don't want to get things done. And then every mechanic says they'll get everything done when it has to be done. They understand it's quiet then, and it just never really worked out. So now it's easier to spread the work out and just pay to get stuff done. Luckily, cars nowadays, like they're just more reliable. And the reliable cars, I don't really have an issue. I don't have big maintenance issues. And even if I do, I just pay it. My repairs and maintenance in the last 12 months, maybe 7 or 8 grand. That hasn't been billable to a customer. Sorry, I'm gonna have to blow my nose, and I apologize. Every day I think I'm like getting over the cold, and I'm not. But everybody gets sick. Do you think the Porsche Taycan? Where to go? Do you think the Porsche Taycan is a Tesla killer? No, I think it's completely priced itself out of Tesla's territory. Tesla is out there slinging $35,000 electric cars, which I think is what people want, and I don't think Porsche is going to really make much of a dent in the Tesla market, or even the commercial success of the Taycan. I just think 150 is a big starting number. And Porsche has been known for like drivers, like, oh yeah, Porsche. I'm a driver. I buy Porsche. So to come out with I get the shift to the DCT or whatever their transmission is, because like, oh yeah, well, it's faster on a track. I just don't see the electric thing with Porsche as being great. They'll sell cars, they'll move cars, people will be happy about it, but I just don't see it as being a giant success. Adrian Paparo, thank you. D-Rock, hope you feel better. I'm out. Good luck moderating. You got it, D-Rock. I haven't. If the comment's not colorful, I genuinely don't read it. So, and that's not because anything. That's the reason for Super Chat. It just shows up and it highlights it. So, I'll do another like 5 minutes here, guys. I think an hour is a solid bit, and that just proves that it takes me an hour to drink a drink of iced tea. But whatever happened to the school bus I bought? So the bus, it's been like a headache. I'm waiting on the title. Jeff was going to buy that off me. And the title, because I picked it up with the dealer plate, when they sold it to me, they had to put the insurance that was on the bus at the time, which would have been the dealer plate, because that's what I was driving it back on. So they put it in the company name, and the guy has just been a little difficult trying to get that title switched over. It's not even about the money with that thing, but I was just that bus. I wasn't planning on doing much with the bus, but it's spray painted now. It looks pretty cool. Let's see here. House update. Everybody keeps dropping the house updates. As I said earlier in the stream, there's going to be a big house update. I did get approved, and I will start building pretty soon. Once I didn't want to waste builders' times. I got approved, I want to say like 3 months ago, but I didn't want to go to waste builders' times and get estimates and do all that stuff and start pricing stuff out until after I knew I was definitely getting approved, because I got voted down the first time. And when I resubmitted my application, there was no guarantee I was going to get through the second time. So I don't want to waste anyone's time or waste money doing stuff. So now that I got approved, I got the blueprints sorted out. I should get the blueprints early next week. And then when I get the blueprints done, I can then go to builders. The builders can then price it out. Then I can figure out how much cash I need, and then I can sort of start the process from there. This Adrian Paparo, what is it like to drive the Ferrari for the first time ever? It's cool. Everybody remembers their like first Ferrari drive. And same thing with Lambo. But the first time I drove a V12 Lamborghini was the blue Murcielago, the 50th anniversary. And that was cool. But it's cool. And that's why the rental company, like, it just, people are like afraid to touch the car, and then they drive it and they're over the moon. Going downhill. I do have the tractor. I haven't been able to get the tractor to start this year. I thought it was the carburetor, and then some guy came and looked at it and like, no, it's your like spark thing. The word is escaping me, but I replaced that. That didn't fix it, and now I'm back to the carburetor. Who knows what the hell's wrong with it? But I got it just cranking and pissing fuel out of the carburetor. It's not actually catching. Let's see. Do you have any broken OEM parts I can borrow to 3D scan? Stuff like 360. Yeah, I mean, I got a bunch of factory parts you can always 3D scan. I've got a Ferrari 360 430 top that you can scan all of them, but it's sort of a pain in the butt. Dan Green, Koenigsegg or Pagani, and why? Ooh. Koenigsegg, I think, is a better car. Pagani Zonda is more desirable to me. I think it's a little bit more attainable. And a Zonda, there's something about the sound of a Zonda that I can't get over. Any adventure drives in Asia countries? Not at the moment. That's probably like a 3-year plan or something when I have enough customers, because that's a big trip over to Asia. But right now I try to stick to stuff that's within a 7 or 8, or maybe like a 10-hour flight is like the circumference from the United States. because people come into like Europe from California. That's a big flight. So I got to be cognizant of that when I'm booking these trips, that I got to get people out there. They don't need 2 days to acclimate and get over jet lag. Here's a story. I just had a renter that just came in, and I was about to go to dinner, and I get a phone call. Oh, what do you have available tonight? I'm like, I mean, I don't turn down business, but it was like 7 o'clock at night. I want to come get something now. And long story short, I thought it was like just a guy wasting my time, and it turned out to be DeAndre Baker. And it was his birthday, and he just got signed by the Giants. So good luck to him. He took out a Lambo that night. He showed up. Everything went well. And now he is, he's, I think, opening day is tomorrow or Monday for the Giants. So that was a funny story, because it was like this just reeks of things not adding up. Why is somebody calling me for a car right now and he wants to come drive to me? But all worked out, and all is well. But anyway, other than Bugatti, I'm not planning on doing a video on Bugatti, but the 300-mile-an-hour thing, it's cool. I think the next, like, now that they've crossed 300, you're gonna get the people that are like, why didn't you do it in both directions? Is it really a record? Still faster than the Koenigsegg went, which was 284. Different circumstances. It would be great if Bugatti was like, hey, you know what? Anyone who wants to come out here and do 305 on our track, come on out. And then it's at least like an apples to apples comparison. Otherwise, you always have to do that back and forth. And the reason they do back and forth is so if you have a tailwind, if you're going downhill, the car will obviously go faster. But at the end of the day, let's see. Cars and Coffee start time tomorrow is 9 a.m. It's 475 Alfred Avenue in Teaneck, New Jersey. But now the question is going to be not, I don't think people are going like, oh, now I'm going to go to 310, 320, 330. I don't think that's the goal. I think 300 is plenty fast. I think the goal at the moment will be how fast you can get to 300. Like, if it took Bugatti 5 miles to get to 300 in like a minute and a half, and then Koenigsegg can go out and do it in 45 seconds, that's like the same speed, but a much faster car. So pretty wild. Yeah. All right. We're over an hour here, guys. I thank everybody who jumped on the super chat. Cheers to you guys. I take a leave D. I don't want the D part of a leave, I think, is what would screw me up. But I took 2 Advil liquid gels a little while ago, and that's why I'm drinking iced tea and not Clase Azul. But yeah, thank you guys. I'll keep the videos coming. I've got a couple to edit now. I've got stuff I got to send over to an attorney. I've just got a bunch of stuff to do. But as I said, my uploads have been a little bit more sporadic. I got a bunch of stuff that irons in the fire, stuff that I want to do as the rental business dies down. But since I just kicked up the rental business this year, and I've got the house to build and all that stuff, I couldn't. I'm only one person, so I couldn't focus too much on everything. But thank you very much. I did see they found the Lambo Liam Delonte. I made a video about it today, so go check that out. Thank you guys. Appreciate you jumping in. What happened to my vet? My vet is fine. It's in my shop, but gonna just close these questions here so they're not blocking me. I want to thank you guys for coming out. I appreciate you taking time out of your Saturday night to come listen to me ramble about nothing. And I will see you on the channel tomorrow or Monday. Enjoy your football. Opening season now. So cheers to you. Enjoy. Have a good night. Hate that. Hit the end stream. And I'm like, I just ended it, but I didn't.